I slept for 27 hours straight. 27 hours straight I slept. That's how freaking stoned I was, I guess. Hey guys, welcome to another episode of Root to the Hustle. Episode 5 or 6, I'm not sure. I'll put it right here. This episode, we're going to talk about, well, so my little series, Root to the Hustle, is about gardening. So if you don't like gardening, just skip the video. It's not going to be an episode for you. Yeah, so this episode, we're going to talk about why I really don't mess with edibles. My little story with it. I used to make them all the time and slang them and stuff, but I never liked taking them. So this was like a while back, bro. This is maybe like 15 or 20 years ago, bro. So like I was already like, I didn't have a medical license, but I was already like slanging like here and there. But it was like back in the days of like you know, there was a lot of stress still. Like I think like a pound of stress back then was going for like around 400. I could get it for like 275, 300 because I had like, I just knew people and stuff. But the average price was like 400 a pound, 500 a pound, depending on the quality. I'm talking about like stress brick, Mexico type weed, Arizona, whatever you want to call it. But my next door neighbor that I tell you, like every time it was like I want to say the right date. It's the second or the third. It was the second or the third. He would get his disability check, and that's when he would hit me up for some bud. You know, he always just wanted like an ounce, and that's what he picked up for me, an ounce of whatever. I would give it to him for a certain price. Let's say I gave it to him for 70. He would always pay me double, bro. So if I charged him 70, he would give me 140. He would tell me like, here's a little extra for your troubles, and then he would always give me tips on top of that. He would give me like $40 or $20. He'd be like, and here, take this little tip for you. He would always hook me up, bro. So he was very, very generous with me. Like, bro, I would give him like $50 worth of something, and he would give me $200 like back. And this went on for like years, bro. Like every single month on the second or third when he got his disability check, he came to me. But anyways, to get away from the story, this one time I got him some stuff, right? And he never complained, but this one time he complained that he didn't like it. He said that it wasn't getting him high, and he didn't like the weed, right? So he gave me more money to get him more. Instead of him asking for the money back and be like, hey, yo, I didn't like this, it's not getting me high, can I have my money back? He just said he didn't like it. He gave me the weed back, but he gave me more money to get him more weed. So he gave me back an ounce, right? But usually when I would slang to him, I would pick up like a quarter pound. A quarter pound is 4 ounces. So I would keep 3 ounces for myself, sell him 1 ounce, and the other 3 I would just nickel and dime it, you know? So basically he gave me the weed back, and then once he told me it wasn't getting him high, I was like, there's no way, bro. Because I was one of those people that like smoking like chronic. It was chronic back then. We didn't have kush, so like that good shit, you know, I was smoking that $20 a gram shit. I did smoke stress here and there, but I wasn't really messing with it. So I hadn't even tried it, right? So I rolled up a blunt. I smoked the whole blunt to myself, and I did not get high, bro. I was like, boy, this boy's not lying. So I was like, there's no way why isn't this weed working, right? So basically now I was sitting on my 3 ounces and the ounce he gave me back. I had a quarter pound of weed that wasn't getting nobody high, right? I was like, what can I do with this? So I started researching videos. I learned how to make the oil and the butter that you need to make edibles, right? Because you need can of oil or can of butter, right? It was my first time doing this. So I put the whole 4 ounces, a quarter pound of weed. I didn't use shake. Mostly when people make edibles, they use shakes, stems, little baby nugs. I used like a whole freaking quarter pound of some weed, right? Like nugs and everything. I believe I made oil. I did not make the butter. I made like a container of like oil that I was gonna use for brownies, right? So I used that much, right? And then I made like the brownies. I made like a big old tray of brownies. I used the oil. I maybe had a little bit of oil left. I used a shitload of that oil. So basically, I made like a big old tray of brownies, but I ended up using 4 ounces of weed into those brownies, bro. A weed that wasn't getting as high smoking, though. But anyways, so I had never even tried edibles, right? So when they cooled down, I ate some of the edibles. Me and my brother were eating them. 20 minutes went by, nothing happened, but the brownies were bomb, bro. They tasted good just to eat, right? So we kept eating the brownies. But before you knew it, we had gone through like half of the batch of brownies. We ate them. Man, when those things kicked in, bro, it kicked in subtle and slow. Then it turned into like one of those things where when you're drunk and you're not enjoying it, like the room is spinning, you're throwing up, you feel lightheaded maybe. Like it was just like, when you're drunk and you don't like it because you're too drunk. It was like I was too high and I did not like it, right? So that was like the worst experience ever, bro. Like it started cool, and then so then the funny part about that story was that later on, I went to sleep because I couldn't take it, bro. I slept for 27 hours straight. 27 hours straight I slept. That's how freaking stoned I was, I guess. But the messed up part is that when I woke up, my eyes were just like bloodshot red. And I was freaking more high than when I went to sleep. When I woke up, I was even more high. It took me like 2 or 3 hours to sober up after I woke up, and I still was feeling like I wasn't all there. But after that, man, I still mess with the edibles here and there, but I was taking them with precaution. But yeah, that was my little horror story about the edibles. I have another story about edibles where I gave an edible to my friend that I made, and yeah, that was not a good story either. But I used to make some strong stuff, bro. But this was like 20 years ago. I didn't know what I was doing. It was like a long time ago, and yeah, that's one of my stories right there, bro. Like from back in the day. Let's see what we get. Can we get something from Surgeon Sparks so we can spark up the blunt after? Ooh. Every time I see this card now, we think about Tezzy. This is Tezzy's card. Let's see. My wife collects these, but I think she has this Tandem Mouse or Mouse Hold. I get confused. No. Thank you guys for watching.